From this it appears that the created intellect, although it sees the divine substance, does not yet know everything that can be known through the divine substance. For then it is only necessary that, having known a principle, all its effects should be known through it, when the principle is comprehended by the intellect. For thus a principle is known according to its entire power, when all its effects are known from it. But through the divine essence, other things are known, just as the effect is known from the cause. Therefore, since the created intellect cannot know the divine substance in such a way as to comprehend it, it is not necessary that in seeing it, it should see all that can be known through it. Again, the deeper a man's understanding is, the more he knows, either according to the multitude of things, or at least according to the many aspects of the same things. But the divine understanding surpasses all created understanding. Therefore he knows more than any created intellect, but he knows nothing except by seeing his own essence, as was shown in the first chapter. Therefore, there are more things that can be known through the divine essence than any created intellect can see through it. Still, the quantity of power is considered according to what it can do. Therefore, it is the same thing to know all that a virtue is capable of, and to comprehend the virtue itself. But the divine power, since it is infinite, cannot be comprehended by any created intellect, just as neither can its essence, as has been proved. Therefore, the created intellect cannot know all that the divine power can do, but all things in which the divine power is capable are knowable through the divine essence. For God knows all things, and not except through his essence. Therefore the created intellect, seeing the divine substance, does not see all that can be seen in the substance of God. Further, no cognitive power knows anything except according to the nature of its own object. For we do not know anything by sight, except in so far as it is colored. Now, the proper object of the intellect is that which is, that is, the substance of a thing, as it is said in chapter 3 of the soul. Therefore, whatever the intellect knows about a thing, it knows through the knowledge of the substance of that thing. Whence in every demonstration by which the proper accidents are made known to us, we receive the principle that what is, as it is said in the first of the latter. But if the intellect knows the substance of a thing by accidents, as it is said in De Anima 1, that accidents contribute a large part to the knowledge of what something is. This is by accident, inasmuch as the knowledge of the intellect arises from sense, and thus it is necessary to reach the understanding of substance through the knowledge of sensible accidents, for which reason this has no place in mathematics, but only in natural sciences. Therefore, whatever exists in a thing which cannot be known by the knowledge of its substance must be unknown to the understanding. But what a willing person wills cannot be known by knowledge of his own substance, for the will does not naturally tend to what it wills, for which reason the will and nature are posited as two active principles. No intellect, therefore, can know what a willing will, except perhaps through certain effects, just as when we see someone acting voluntarily, we know what he willed, or by cause, as God wills our wills, as well as his other effects. He knows by this that we have a reason to will, or by the fact that one insinuates his will to another, as when one expresses his affection by speaking. Since then, many things depend on the simple will of God, as is partly clear from the above, and will still be more clear. The created intellect, even if it sees the substance of God, yet does not know all that God sees through his substance. But someone can object against the foregoing, that the substance of God is something greater than all that he can do or understand or will apart from himself. Therefore, if the created intellect can see the substance of God, it is much more possible for it to know all that God, apart from himself, either he understands, or he wills, or he can do it. But if we consider carefully, it is not of the same reason that something is known in itself and in its cause. For some things are easily known in themselves, which, however, are not easily known in their causes. It is true, then, that it is greater to understand the divine substance than anything else besides it, which can be known in itself. However, it is a more perfect knowledge to know the divine substance and to see its effects in it, than to know the divine substance without seeing the effects in it. And this, indeed, that the divine substance may be seen, is possible without the apprehension of it. Now that all things that can be understood through it are known, this cannot happen without the comprehension of it, as is clear from what has been said.